You know, it's one of the hottest spots for real estate right now in the Treasure Valley. Nestled by the river, Garden City has been in the middle of gentrification for a while now, and a common property to get replaced, mobile home parks, with developers eager to get in on the upgrade. But what about the people who live there? Where do they go? Well, Abby Davis talked to someone who lives in the DeMar trailer park. And Abby, the question is, these people own their mobile homes, but in most cases, they can't just take it with them when they decide to leave or are forced to leave.
Well, Brian, there are certain laws around getting these homes moved, and a lot of them revolve around how old these mobile homes actually are. Gary Gallipeau says developers let everyone living at DeMar know they were getting evicted in January. He's less frustrated about having to leave and more frustrated about not getting compensated for his house. Surrounded by new apartments and townhouses,
I like to call it like an ice cream sandwich.
the area around DeMar Mobile Home Park looks a lot different than when Gary Gallipeau moved in 13 years ago.
Now we're stuck in between that property building and that property building.
Soon, the mobile home park will look different too. Vita Properties plans on turning the land into a multi-family housing development with 90 apartments. Garden City approved the project in 2020.
It's willing buyer, willing seller.
But what about the mobile homeowners like Gallipeau getting evicted?
I'm not against the idea of having to leave here. What I am against is the fact that each and every one of us owns our own trailers. And they're asking us to just go, be gone, move a trailer that can't be moved according to federal law, and not get any compensation for it.
Federal housing and urban development law says trailers built before 1976 don't meet code.
There are only 3, I believe, maybe 4, in this entire park that actually meet the qualifications.
Because those mobile homes aren't up to date, fair housing expert Lori DeCare says it's a lot harder to move them.
It costs, somewhere between $8,000 to $10,000 to move a mobile home. And then if they're older, if they're pre-1976, then they actually have to do rehab on them before they're allowed to move them.
And even if someone did pay that money, DeCare says there aren't many places to move.
There are dwindling amount of mobile home parks in the Treasure Valley as it is right now.
Especially in Garden City. DeCare says 21 mobile home parks in Garden City have closed since 2011. That's about 180 units.
A lot of these folks are on limited budgets. They are disabled. They are, single mothers with children. They are seniors.
But Garden City Mayor John Evans says maintaining older mobile home parks really isn't an option anymore. Neither is building new ones.
We have ground on the eastern end of town that's valued at up to $1 million an acre. And you can't build affordable housing on ground that expensive.
He believes developing these areas is just part of life, even if people get displaced.
I wish I had a crystal ball answer. I wish I had a magic wand to deal with that, but we just don't.
Gallipeau says having developers compensate the people they're asking to leave is a good start.
And no fair, just compensation for property that we own, they don't. They own the land, we own the trailers.
Trailers everyone in DeMar Mobile Home Park calls home, at least until September. Everyone living at DeMar has to move out by early September, like I just said. I did reach out to the developers, but didn't hear back. DeCare says there aren't many protections for mobile home owners in this situation. She says it's really up to cities to implement various protections, and that could possibly include requiring some sort of compensation, but at the moment there really isn't anything like that in Garden City.
And that's a lot. I mean, going from 20 there spaces to 90. I imagine though anybody who lives in these apartments or these mobile home parks would be in an apartment if they could afford one right now. So
yeah, and I'm just told that's really not an option.
Not feasible. All right, thank you very much.